In early May, Norway took the bold and surprising move of banning the deliveries of the Kongsberg Naval Strike Missile, or NSM, to Malaysia, a move that effectively cancels all plans to supply and deliver the weapons to the Southeast Asian nation. The collapse of the deal, a deal that was more than 8 years in the making, has angered the Malaysian government, who is now demanding over €200 million in compensation. Will the repercussions damage Norway's ability to sell weapons on the international stage, or is the impact limited? We take a look at the story and its latest developments for today's video. Signed back in 2018, the Kongsberg deal with Malaysia would have seen the supply of well over 100 NSMs, or Naval Strike Missiles, for a number of littoral combat ships. On top of that deal was a 2025 agreement for 2 additional NSM launches, a deal which is now also cancelled. It's said that the decision to ban the deliveries of the NSM was only made known to Malaysia days before the scheduled deliveries were to take place. So why the sudden change of policy from Norway? Well, Norway's foreign ministry said that sales of its most sensitive defence technologies are now restricted to allies and closest partners, a category that clearly does not include Malaysia. The Foreign Ministry, responding to an inquiry by Associated Press, said that the government has strengthened oversight on defence technology in response to major shifts in the security landscape in Europe and globally in recent years. The response continued, saying, "It is regrettable that this affects Malaysia." The fallout from this has been notable when it comes to Malaysian government reaction and the Malaysian media. Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim warned that the move could damage confidence in European defence suppliers, particularly if signed agreements could be reversed unilaterally. Ibrahim added that the move would hurt Malaysia's operational readiness. Now, in terms of cleaning up the mess, Malaysia had already paid 95% of the contract value, and so it has had to examine legal options and possible compensation claims over the cancelled delivery. The most recent reporting indicates that the country is seeking more than 1 billion Malaysian ringgit in damages, an amount equivalent to over €216 million at the time of making this video. We have to tell you that an earlier version of this video had shown an incorrect conversion, stating €200,000 instead. This was based on Google auto-correcting our query for billion to say million at the time, as it corrected our spelling of ringgit. Our apologies for the error. Malaysia's Defence Minister had this to say in a statement: "Today we have issued a notice of claim to the Norwegian company. We are claiming direct costs, which is the amount already paid of 583 million ringgit, as well as indirect costs, bringing the total claim to more than 1 billion ringgit. The minister went on to say that the indirect costs included the removal of missile mounting systems already installed on the Navy's vessels, as well as the integration of replacement systems supplied by other vendors. And so it's safe to say that the Malaysians are furious right now, and they perhaps have a decent point about an erosion of trust due to the last-minute cancellation of a years-long deal. We can imagine Kongsberg also being quite disappointed, considering the decision to impose a ban wasn't theirs, and instead came from the Norwegian government. Of course, if Norway is indeed now restricting its exports to only allies and closest partners, then prospective customers should have a good idea of where they stand and their eligibility to purchase Norwegian weapons. We assume Japan and South Korea are on the safe list, given existing defense cooperation agreements. Indeed, in March 2026, Japan took delivery of its first Joint Strike Missile cruise missiles from Norway for integration on its F-35A fighter aircraft. Looking at the broader South Pacific region, Australia seems to be another close defence partner for Norway. Indeed, it was only quite recently that the Aussies signed a Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, with the Norwegian government to further support the acquisition and domestic manufacturing of missiles down under. The multilateral arrangement enhances information sharing and collaboration between Australia, Norway, and 10 other countries that use the Naval Strike Missile and Joint Strike Missile. The arrangement will support Australia to become a regional missile production hub. While Malaysia may not be an ally of Norway, it's also not an adversary. Malaysia itself has no formal defence cooperation agreement with NATO and actually maintains an active policy of strict neutrality, non-alignment, and Southeast Asian regional centrality. This means that it avoids military alliances with global powers to prevent regional tensions. And so, without any further reasoning and justification of the decision from Norway, the very last-minute ban is quite insulting given how much Malaysia had already invested in Kongsberg weapons and systems. Maybe Norway knows more than it's letting on, but it's difficult and irresponsible for the media to try and guess specific reasons. The ban looks to have the effect of completely shutting out Norway from all Malaysian defence procurement, no matter what type of weapons are being considered. Who knows if other nations will have second thoughts because of what happened to Malaysia. But then again, such a move from Norway may not actually have a huge impact on Kongsberg and other Norwegian defence firms, especially if Europeans and other allies are the country's biggest customers. But what do you think of all this? Why do you think Malaysia would be shut out from this Norwegian defence tech? Let us know what you think by leaving a comment.